Have you ever wondered if you're meant for something more? Not just surviving, not just getting by, but truly succeeding. Let me ask you something. What if the signs are already there? What if success is not something far away, but something already growing inside you? You see, most people think success is reserved for a few, the lucky ones, the talented ones, the special ones. But that's not true. Success is predictable. It leaves clues. And those clues show up early in your habits, in your mindset, in the way you think, and the way you act. Now, here's the interesting part. Most people miss these signs. They overlook them. They underestimate them. They ignore them because the signs of success don't look like success in the beginning. They look like discipline. They look like struggle. They look like persistence. And sometimes they even look like failure. But make no mistake, if you carry these signs, you are on a different path, a path that leads somewhere meaningful. So today, we're going to slow down. We're going to look closely, and we're going to uncover the signs that you are destined for success. Let me tell you something. Most people don't think. They react. They follow. They repeat. They accept life as it is given. But you're different because you question. You don't just accept things at face value. You ask why. You ask, is this the best way? You ask, can this be better? And that is the first sign. Now listen carefully. Success begins in the mind, not in your bank account, not in your circumstances, but in the way you think. And people who are destined for success think differently. They are not satisfied with surface-level answers. They are not comfortable with blind routines. They are not willing to live on autopilot. They pause. They observe. They reflect. And reflection is powerful. Because when you reflect, you learn. You look at your actions. You look at your results. You look at your mistakes. And instead of ignoring them, you ask, what can I improve? That question changes everything. Because most people avoid it. They avoid looking inward. They avoid taking responsibility. They avoid growth. But you lean into it. You're willing to examine yourself. And that's rare. Very rare. Now here's the truth. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens by intention. It happens when you decide to become better. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. And that decision starts with awareness. Awareness of where you are. Awareness of what you're doing. Awareness of what needs to change. You see, if you don't question your life, you will repeat your life. The same habits, the same results, the same frustrations, over and over again. But when you start questioning, you break the pattern. You interrupt the routine. You create space for something new. Now let's go deeper. You don't just question the world. You question yourself, your habits, your choices, your standards. You ask, am I doing my best? Am I growing? Am I becoming who I want to be? And sometimes those questions are uncomfortable because the answers aren't always what you want to hear. But that's where growth begins. Not in comfort, but in truth. Now here's something important. Reflection without action is useless. Thinking alone will not change your life. You must act. But reflection guides your action. It gives it direction. It makes it intentional. So instead of moving blindly, you move with purpose. And purposeful action creates results. Now let me give you a simple idea. Successful people are students of life. They are always learning, always growing, always improving. They read, they listen, they observe, they invest in themselves because they understand something most people don't. Your greatest asset is you, your mind, your skills, your knowledge. And the more you develop them, the more valuable you become. Not just to others, but to yourself. Now think about this. Why do most people stay stuck? Because they stop learning. They stop questioning. They stop growing. They settle. They become comfortable with what they know. And comfort is the enemy of progress. But you feel that pull, that desire to improve, that curiosity to learn more, that hunger to become better. And that hunger is a sign, a powerful sign. It means you're not satisfied with average. It means you're not willing to stay the same. It means you are moving in the right direction. Now, don't misunderstand this. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to ask the right questions, to reflect honestly, and to grow consistently, because success is not built in one moment. It's built over time through small improvements, daily decisions, consistent growth, and it all starts with the way you think. So if you find yourself questioning, if you find yourself reflecting, if you find yourself seeking growth, don't ignore it. Don't doubt it. Recognize it, because that is the first sign that you are destined for something greater. Let me tell you something. This is where most people fall apart. Not at the beginning, not when things are exciting, but in the middle, when it gets hard, when it gets boring, when it no longer feels good. Because feelings are unreliable. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you don't. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel tired. And if your life is controlled by how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. But here's the hidden sign of success. You don't rely on feelings. You rely on discipline. You do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Now that may not sound exciting. It may not look impressive, but let me tell you, this is where success is built. Quietly, daily, consistently. You see, anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Anyone can show up when they're motivated. But very few people can continue when motivation disappears. That's the difference. That's the separator. Now think about your own life. There are moments when you know exactly what you should do. You know you should work. You know you should study. You know you should take action. But something inside says, not today, maybe later. I don't feel like it. And in that moment, you have a choice. Follow your feelings or follow your commitment. Most people follow their feeling, and that's why they stay stuck. Because feelings change, but commitments build. Now listen carefully. Discipline is not punishment. It's power. The power to act regardless of emotion. The power to stay focused despite distractions. The power to move forward even when it's uncomfortable. And when you develop that power, you become dangerous. Not to others, but to your limitations. Now here's something important. Doing what needs to be done is not always exciting. In fact, most of the time, it's not. It's repetitive. It's routine. It's sometimes boring, but that's where growth happens. Not in excitement, but in consistency, because success is not built on what you do occasionally. It's built on what you do daily. The small actions, the repeated efforts, the habits you stick to, even when you don't feel like it. Now let's go deeper. Every time you act despite resistance, you build strength, mental strength. You train your mind to say, I do what I said I would do. And that builds trust. Trust in yourself. Because confidence doesn't come from talking. It comes from doing, from showing up, from following through, from proving to yourself that you can be relied on. Now imagine this. You tell yourself you're going to do something and you actually do it. Not once, not twice, but consistently, day after day. What happens? You start believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you raise your standards. You expect more. You demand more. You become more. Now compare that to someone who always gives in to their feelings. They say they'll start, but they don't. They say they'll try, but they quit. They say they'll change, but they delay. Over time, they lose trust in themselves. And without self-trust, there is no confidence. Without confidence, there is no progress. That's the cost. Now here's the hidden truth. Discipline creates freedom. It may feel restrictive in the moment, but in the long run, it gives you control. Control over your time. Control over your habits. Control over your life. Because when you can do what needs to be done, you are no longer controlled by excuses. You are no longer limited by emotions. You become consistent. And consistency is what separates average from exceptional. If you find yourself doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't feel like it, don't overlook it. Don't underestimate it. Because that is a powerful sign. A sign that you are building something real. A sign that you are developing discipline. A sign that you are moving toward success. Quietly, steadily, unstoppably. Let me tell you something. Success is not built on talent alone. It's not built on luck. It's not built on perfect timing. It's built on one simple decision: to keep going. Because here's what most people don't understand. The path to success is not straight. It's difficult. It's uncertain. It's filled with obstacles. And at some point, everyone feels like quitting. Everyone. The difference is, most people do. But you don't give up easily. And that is a powerful sign. Now listen carefully. Persistence is not loud. It's quiet. It shows up when things aren't working. It shows up when progress is slow. It shows up when results are invisible. It's the decision to continue even when there is no immediate reward. And that takes strength, real strength, because it's easy to start something. Excitement carries you in the beginning. But what happens when the excitement fades? When things get hard? When you fail? When you feel like you're not making progress? That's where most people stop. They say, it's not working. It's too difficult. Maybe this isn't for me. And they quit. Not because they couldn't succeed, but because they didn't stay long enough. Now here's the truth. Failure is part of the process. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback strengthens you. Every challenge prepares you. But only if you continue. If you quit, you lose the lesson. You lose the growth. You lose the opportunity. Now think about this. What if success is just one more step away? One more attempt. One more adjustment. One more push. But you stop right before it happens. That's what happens to most people. They quit too early. They underestimate how close they are. Now let me ask you something. How do you respond when things get difficult? Do you step back or do you lean in? Do you look for excuses or do you look for solutions? Because your answer reveals everything. People who are destined for success don't avoid difficulty. They expect it. They understand that challenges are part of the journey. So when problems arise, they don't panic. They adjust. They learn. They keep moving. Now here's something important. Persistence does not mean repeating the same mistake. It means improving, adapting, learning, getting better with each step. Because success is not about doing the same thing over and over. It's about doing it better, stronger, smarter, and that requires patience. Now, patience is rare. Most people want results quickly. They want success now. They want progress instantly. But real success takes time. Time to learn, time to grow, time to develop. And if you're willing to stay in the process while others quit, you gain an advantage, a powerful advantage. Because while they stop, you continue. While they doubt, you build. While they give up, you get closer. Now, let me slow this down and give you something simple. Every time you refuse to quit, you move forward. Even if it doesn't feel like it. Even if the progress is small. Because persistence compounds. Small efforts, repeated daily, turn into massive results over time. And one day, it all adds up. Now imagine this. A person who tries once and stops, compared to someone who tries again and again and again. Who has the better chance? It's obvious. The one who continues. The one who refuses to give up. The one who stays in the game. Because success is not for the fastest. It's for the ones who last. Now, here's the final truth. If you find yourself continuing, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it feels uncertain, don't ignore it. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's resilience. That's a sign that you are not average. A sign that you are building something meaningful. A sign that you are closer than you think. Because people who don't give up easily don't just wish for success. They reach it. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel restless? A little unsatisfied? Like no matter what you have, it's never quite enough? Most people see that feeling and call it a problem. They say, why can't I just be happy with what I have? And they try to ignore it. They try to settle. They try to quiet the voice inside them. But here's the truth. That inner pull, that urge for more, is one of the most powerful signs of success. It's a signal that you are not meant to settle, a signal that you are destined for growth. You see, dissatisfaction is not always a negative thing. It's not always a flaw in your character. Sometimes it's a gift. Why? Because it keeps you moving. It prevents complacency. It pushes you to learn, to expand, to reach higher. It whispers to you that there's something greater out there, and it refuses to let you rest until you go after it. Now, most people misunderstand this. They think contentment means happiness, and they mistake dissatisfaction for failure. They see it as a problem to solve. But for those destined for success, it's a compass. It's pointing toward your potential, toward the life you're capable of, toward the contribution only you can make. Think about it. The greatest achievers in history, the innovators, the leaders, the creators, they were never fully satisfied with the status quo. They always wanted more. They always imagined more. They always believed they could be bigger, better, stronger. And that's the key. That urge for more, it's not about greed. It's not about envy. It's about growth. It's about realizing that your life is bigger than your current circumstances, that your potential is far beyond your present results. Here's the sign you're destined for something greater. You feel the pull. You feel the restlessness. You feel the dissatisfaction. And instead of ignoring it, you start looking for ways to act on it. You start learning. You start improving. You start pushing past the limits that others accept. And that's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Most people are comfortable staying small. They settle. They accept mediocrity. They ignore that inner drive. But you don't ignore it. You feel it. You honor it. You let it guide you forward. Because here's the truth. Life will always offer you enough to survive, but it will rarely push you enough to thrive. It will rarely challenge you to become extraordinary. That urge for more, that dissatisfaction, it's life's way of telling you, you're capable of greater. You're meant for more than this. You were not created to stay small. And when you embrace that feeling, when you act on it, you start stepping into the life you're meant to live. So don't suppress it. Don't ignore it. Don't apologize for it. Celebrate it. Follow it. Let it fuel you. Because the people who feel the urge for more and take action on it are the people who change the world. Remember this, that restlessness, that drive, that dissatisfaction, it's not a weakness. It's a sign A sign that you're destined for success. A sign that your life is calling for something bigger. A sign that you are meant for something greater. So embrace it. Lean into it. Let it lead you to the extraordinary life that is waiting for you. Let me tell you something. Success is not about controlling the world. It's not about fixing everything around you. It's not about changing other people. Most people waste their energy chasing what they cannot control. They argue. They complain. They stress. And at the end of the day, they feel powerless. But here's the sign of someone destined for success. They focus on what they can control. Think about it. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control every outcome in life, but you can control your actions. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control your choices. And that makes all the difference. Here's why. When you focus on what you can control, you take responsibility. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for permission. You stop making excuses. You begin to act. You begin to improve. You begin to grow. That focus, it's like a lever. It magnifies your impact. It multiplies your results. Now, most people, they think control is about power over others. But real control is power over yourself, your thoughts, your habits, your actions. And people who develop that power, they become unstoppable. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't wait for luck. They create results regardless, because life will never be perfect. Circumstances will never be ideal. Problems will always arise. But if you can focus on what you can control, you never feel helpless. You never feel stuck. You become resilient. You become adaptable. You become powerful. Here's the lesson. When you act on what you can control and let go of what you cannot, you conserve your energy. You make better decisions. You move faster. You turn obstacles into opportunities. You turn challenges into growth. You turn setbacks into lessons. And over time, those small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results. This is the hallmark of someone destined for success. They understand life is 90% about what they can do and only 10% about what they cannot. They don't waste time on complaining. They don't waste time on worry. They don't waste time on things beyond their reach. They focus. They act. They persist. And that focus, that discipline, that clarity of purpose becomes unstoppable momentum. So here's the truth. If you find yourself prioritizing your energy, if you find yourself acting where you can make a difference, if you find yourself letting go of what you cannot control, don't ignore it. Don't underestimate it. That is the final sign. The sign that you are destined for success. The sign that you are building a life of freedom, power, and results. The sign that you are ready to live a remarkable life, one action at a time. Focus on what you can control. Act with intention and watch your life transform. Because success is not about luck. It's about leverage. Leverage over your own choices and mastery over yourself. And when you master that, you can conquer anything. So now you know the signs are there. If you're questioning, reflecting, and seeking growth, if you do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, if you don't give up easily, if you feel that inner urge for more, if you focus on what you can control, these are not coincidences. These are signals. Signals that you are destined for success. But here's the truth. Signs alone don't create success. Action does. Persistence does. Commitment does. The question is simple. Will you act on what you already know? Will you honor the signs that life is giving you? Will you take the next step today? Remember this. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's built by those who see the signs and then act on them relentlessly. So take a moment, reflect, and decide. Decide to step into your potential. Decide to honor your inner drive. Decide to take control of your life, starting now, because the signs are clear. Your time is now, and your destiny is waiting. Go forward, act boldly. The world is ready for the greatness inside you. Success isn't far away. It's already within you. All you have to do is reach for it.